her mind suddenly surfaced a question not about money, but about something far more precious. If one day she had nothing left to give, would anyone truly need her anymore? That morning, a misty drizzle hung in the air, raindrops tapping on the rust-stained tin roof like a melancholy tune. Quietly, Madame Dern gathered her few belongings into an old worn cloth bag. Line stood at the doorway, arms crossed, her voice flat. "Wherever you want to stay, I'll take you. My place is cramped and I'm busy all the time. Maybe you should move in with Big Brother. His house is spacious, the kids are well behaved, you'd probably feel more comfortable there." The old woman only nodded. No one was driving her away, no one spoke harshly, yet the way her daughter spoke so casually, as if moving an object from one place to another, made her feel she no longer belonged to any home. The taxi slid along rain-soaked streets, carrying her to her eldest son, Chi's 3-story house. When the door opened, her daughter-in-law Hao hesitated briefly at the sight of the old woman standing on the threshold with her small bag. Then she forced a thin smile. "Oh, Mother, you're here already? Line said you'd stay for a few days. Well then, come inside." She stepped in, eyes lingering on every corner of the unfamiliar house, built years ago with the money her husband and she had lent. When her husband passed, she had even handed over all the condolence money to Chi as capital. More than a decade had gone by, yet he had never once brought it up again. Chi returned home late, cheerful. "It's wonderful to have you here, Mother. With you around, the house feels warmer." But that warmth didn't last long. That very afternoon, she was placed in a small room on the ground floor, once a storage space, with a thin blanket, a flat pillow, and a window sealed shut because it faced the garbage dump. Hao explained, "This is the only room left, Mother. You'll have to make do. Besides, if you cough or fall ill, it won't bother the kids upstairs." The old woman smiled faintly, though inside her heart tightened. Night fell. The room was stifling, airless. She lay staring at the ceiling, remembering her countryside chamber where the breeze drifted in, carrying the smell of fresh straw and the song of crickets, familiar comforts no place else could replace. In the days that followed, she became like an unpaid housemaid. She rose early to watch the children, swept, washed dishes, laundered small clothes. Each time she coughed, Hal would remind her, "Are you taking your medicine? Don't risk passing anything to the kids." One day, the youngest grandchild spilled soup on her shirt. As she fumbled to clean it, Hao's voice floated out from the kitchen. "Maybe you're used to being messy in the countryside, but here in the city everything must stay clean." The old woman bit her lip, bowed her head, and said nothing. That night, she unfolded her faded handkerchief and took out a photo of her 3 children with her late husband. Gently, she stroked each face, her heart aching for the days when she was lovingly called Ma-ay, Mare-ay, Mother, not just old woman or the elderly, as now. The rain still fell outside the eaves. The house shut tight, yet her heart overflowed with water. One noon, guests visited. She quietly cooked and tidied, and when they left, Hao sipped orange juice and remarked, "Luckily, you were here to help. Alone, I couldn't have managed. Many old folks come to the city only to eat and rest, but you can at least lend a hand." The old woman nodded lightly. "As long as I can do it, don't worry." But Hao's next words pierced her like a knife. "You'll have to get used to it. In the city, everyone works unlike in the countryside." All her life, she had toiled for her family. Widowed early, yet still shouldering everything, never resting. And now, she still had to prove she wasn't a burden. That evening, she tried to help her grandchild with homework, but the child frowned. "Don't teach me, Grandma. You don't know English. If I get it wrong, Mom will scold me." She froze, forcing a smile, setting the notebook aside. Night descended. She sat by the window of her cramped little room, clutching her husband's old sweater. Only the musty smell and longing remained. She whispered, "Perhaps I should keep moving on. Here, I'm just like a servant, not a mother." And once more, she curled into the shadows, her heart heavy with a sorrow too deep to name. A frail figure, living in silence, not knowing whether she still exists for someone or merely so as not to be forgotten. Evening had fallen. The streets had grown quiet with only a few cars passing. In the brightly lit tall house, she quietly pulled out a mat to the corner near the staircase, what could only be called her resting place. The small storage room that used to be hers had been cleared by Howe to store winter clothes, leaving only a narrow space between a wooden cabinet and some cardboard boxes. Just sleep here for a few days, Mom. The third floor is under repair, all dusty. Once it's done, I'll arrange something, Howe said lightly, without a trace of remorse. She nodded, thinking, at least there is still somewhere to stretch her back. The stairway corner was so cramped she couldn't lie straight. She laid the mat, placed a thin pillow, then sat leaning against the wall. A draft blew down the hallway door, freezing cold. The fuse box rattled, ticking away the hours of a sleepless night. Above, footsteps shuffled back and forth. Doors closed, water ran in the bathroom. The household buzzed with life, except for her curled up in the shadows, like a nameless silhouette. When the house finally grew still, she remained awake, clutching the worn quilt she had brought from the countryside. Her stomach ached with hunger. Dinner had only been a few spoonfuls of rice with fish sauce. No one asked if she had eaten. The night turned colder. Gusts of wind slipped through the cracks, lashing her body. Shivering, she pulled the blanket tight to her chest. Her knees throbbed, her back went numb against the cold tiles. Curled up like a child, she shut her eyes, but sleep would not come. Water dripped steadily from a leaky pipe, marking every minute of an old age left behind. At dawn, footsteps of someone leaving for work woke her. Chi caught sight of her lying there on the mat and only muttered, "It's too cold for you to sleep here, Mom. When the room's ready, I'll move you in." Then he rushed off. She didn't blame him, she was used to it. Only when he was gone did she turn to the wall, swallowing tears that soaked her pillow. The staircase, a place where people hurried past, was now her bed. A nameless corner, without a call of "Mom," without a reminder to "come to bed before you get cold." Only a lonely sigh lingering in the lit-up house. And in that moment, she told herself, perhaps it was time to leave once more. Morning broke, with drizzle falling outside. In the cramped stairwell, she pushed herself up, dizzy from a near-sleepless night. Stepping out to the backyard to wash her face, she slipped on the wet tiles. Her elbow struck the wall, pain searing, and she couldn't get back up. "Chi, line," her weak voice called out. But the house was closed tight. Everyone still asleep, no one heard. She curled up on the cold floor, rain tapping gently through the open frame. For a moment, she wanted to give in, but the chill drove her to keep trying. Slowly, she dragged herself back inside, leaning against the stairwell wall. Her sleeves were soaked, her knees bruised purple, yet still no one came down. The house stirred awake with its daily sounds. The coffee machine, shuffling slippers, ringing phones. Life went on as if she did not exist.